Hi, Eric. How are you?
How's it going there, Jonathan? I know this isn't the lunch that we had planned in Burbank, but this will do just fine.
This works. Congratulations on this film. Congratulations on voicing these iconic characters again in such a scope that is unparalleled to modern, cinema. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about these characters and what makes them so iconic.
Oh, man, and there's no one else that I'd end my day with press with than yourself. So thank you.
Wonderful. So you voice Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, Foghorn Leghorn, and Elmer Fudd in this.
Yes, I know, right? It's just like, huh? I get
Quite a
to do
roster.
I get to do what now? Yeah, I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to the characters that Warner Brothers Animation and Warner's Animation Group entrust me with. You know more than anyone, like how important these characters are to fans and just to animation in general. So anytime I say I get to take the Warner Brothers Cadillac out of the garage for a spin around the block, I always check if my insurance is updated and that there's no scratches on it when I take it back.
Very nice. So with this film, what was it like working with Malcolm D. Lee and this whole creative team to bring these characters to the big screen again?
Well, Malcolm is definitely a comedy guy, as you could see from his track record in the motion picture field. They couldn't have picked a better director to come in and kind of just bring this to life. I've been in one panel with him for the Academy, for the Oscar Academy, and the only Academy, and just to hear him talk about like the filmmaking process and how different this was for him was amazing to hear, because he's never worked with like special effects to this scale. He said every director should be able to direct a movie like this at least once in their career, because he had mentioned, oh, like being on other films saying, "Can we do this?" And I was going to say the network, but in my experience in TV, the studio says no. But every time he asked, "Can I do this?" the studio said, "Yeah." Like, how
Wow,
insane is that to have like a genie that grants not three wishes but like a million wishes?
that's incredible. And it shows on screen. There's so much visual, like immaculate animation and a smorgasbord of ideas that are just insane to watch. And it filled me with joy watching this. You also voice Marvin the Martian, and he gets a small little scene with Bugs, which is phenomenal. With this character of Daffy Duck, though, he becomes a coach. What was that like on the page, and what did you like to bring to that?
Yeah, Marvin. I've been saying this. Marvin's scene, for me as a Marvin fan, as you know, and I've been voicing Marvin for some time, almost the better part of a decade. Earth creature. Seeing his scene as beautifully animated as it was on the big screen for the very first time, and I'm sure I will react the same way every time I see it, was just so surreal and such a great moment for the character. And I think the fans are going to be happy about like how they treated that scene, because we see the other characters in their different states, but Marvin's introduction was, I think, the most classic and truest to form of the Looney Tunes. Daffy Duck now, I mean, yeah,
He always wants to be in the spotlight, but I love how he takes kind of a back seat here as the coach.
but he gets to be that Daffy. Like, I've been playing Daffy on Looney Tunes cartoons,
But he's the Daffy Daffy. Woohoo!
but never have I ever been able to play him in that kind of Chuck Jones kind of greedy kind of like,
Right.
the later Daffy as we know him. So to be able to play him in that regard, in that nature, was a lot of fun.
I can imagine. You also get to play Daffy looking for the spotlight in the DC world where he's super Daffy.
Of course,
What
this
was
is
that like?
this was like another callback to I know in some forms, like on the Looney Tunes show, we've seen him as Bat Duck, but I think we first saw him as Super Duck, right? Or
Super Duck.
Super
Yes.
Duck, yes.
Super Duck, how could I forget? It has been a long time, of course.
But yeah, getting to see him back in that suit is awesome, and I can't wait to find the action figure for that.
I'm already waiting in line. Like as soon as they drop that, I'm gonna go buy it. What was a major difference between working from home than working in a studio? And obviously, you were working off a script and not seeing the visuals as they were, in the movie. So what was that like?
My part in the film started out as scratch dialogue performer. So I was always told when I stepped into the booth, this is only temporary dialogue. And they had kept that all the way until I got the phone call that I would be playing these characters. So I never really auditioned for any specific character in this movie. I was always reading for every character, whether it was Bugs or Granny. So like can you imagine being LeBron James like in the booth reading next to this kid who sounds like Granny? So I was always told this is just temporary dialogue, and I'm like,
No problem. Just tell me where to show up and I'll say whatever you want.
and of course you're swinging for the fences. You want to be able to give a performance that LeBron can benefit from. He's the star. I'm just the assist. I'm the guy that passes the ball, and he's the guy that dunks it.
Sure.
And again, working in even before the pandemic, we were working individually anyway. So I never really got to work with the other voiceover artists, also providing scratch dialogue. And during the pandemic, I mean, I was recording everything in my walk-in closet. So I keep telling people if they hear lawnmowers, dogs, or airplanes, my apologies.
Well, it sounded immaculate in the movie. I don't think I heard any of those things. Congratulations on getting the call up. I know that you and Jeff Bergman both got title credits in the movie, which is phenomenal for voice actors to get that recognition.
Did that happen? I only saw the movie once, and I blinked and I missed it. But
Oh no, it happened.
Is that something that happened? Because similar to the original, the movie will start with a career highlight of like LeBron James. He's, arguably the greatest of all time, the greatest of our time right now. And the credits were so crazy and like really MTV fast cuts. So if I did get a credit, thank you to the titleist and the editor that kept me in there. I didn't think I would ever see that. And now I'm going to print that on a t-shirt.
Absolutely. Speaking of t-shirts, you have your own company called RetroKid, which you're sporting right now. And the designs are phenomenal. That launched today. And like, what is it about Daffy Duck and putting him on a t-shirt that just brings a smile to your face?
I don't know, but you're smiling. So I know it's definitely the same thing that there's something about these characters that look so good on clothes. And again, it comes down to the iconic design, the fundamentals of a good character design, like Daffy or Bugs, Tweety or Porky, that have stood the test of time. And we have people like Bob Clampett and Chuck Jones to thank for that. Tex Avery, all the original directors who made these characters everlasting. And as a fan of Looney Tunes that has collected every Looney Tunes shirt from 1992 all the way up until yesterday, when I got this in the mail from my own company, I couldn't be more honored to celebrate the characters this way, aside from embodying them, but now designing my own shirts with the characters. Thank you, Warner Brothers intellectual property, for giving RetroKid the blessing to celebrate these characters.
That's amazing. Real quick, I want to talk about the rapping. So you get to play Porky Pig and Daffy Duck in this rap battle. That is fairly one-sided, but it's incredibly loony and amazing. Can you talk about your skills as a rapper? And
if you search the internet, Warner Brothers Water Tower Music has put out multiple tracks of the extended version of that scene,
including Daffy Duck and Don Cheadle, who first of all, I haven't said this all day. Don Cheadle steals the show. He is my favorite new Looney Tunes character. Let's put it that way. He transforms in this movie the same way the Looney Tunes do.
Yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan, Beastie Boys, and Puff Daddy helped me prepare for this rap.
And of course, Murs, the artist behind the ghostwriting for this, he's the guy that laid down the original rap that I then tried to copy as best as I could. Sorry, Murs.
I think you both did a phenomenal job. It's so fun to watch. It's so funny, and it works in this movie like no other. It's, you know, if there's ever a pop culture injection into Looney Tunes, rapping, you know, would be a far off cry from what I thought would work. And it works so well because of your vocal talent and because of this writing by Murs.
Well, thank you for saying that. But I think what originally teed it up were those 90s Bugs and Taz hip-hop shirts that really got us like, oh, this was a seed that was planted many years ago. So thanks for saying that, Jonathan.
You're welcome, Eric. And I guess I want to also talk about Elmer Fudd because you're voicing him in this, and he has a really great cameo as Mini-Me in the Austin Powers world. What was it like sharing the screen with fellow Canadian Mike Myers?
Oh my gosh. Something that I never thought I would ever see in a million years. For me, that, like, it's still kind of like, I can't believe that happened, and I thank God that it did. Mike Myers is from where I'm from, Scarborough, Ontario, Canada, and has definitely, he is the pop culture king. He makes catchphrases like "What's up, Doc?" or "Schwing," for that matter, and to know that I am on the screen as Elmer Fudd, in an Austin Powers picture is something that I will never forget for the rest of my life.
I bet it's really fun. And
oh yeah, very shagadelic, baby.
And lastly, one of the other characters you do is Foghorn Leghorn. What was it like searching deep within you to bring out that gravitas for that rooster?
I say, listen here now, Jonathan, I love you, but, it was like a dirt road between two cornfields, nothing between the ears. Just kidding, John, that's a joke, son, you're supposed to laugh.
Yeah, there's something so big and boisterous around him. And again, it's like, what, Elmer, Foghorn, and Porky. 3 roles that I've never played that have been played by the greats, like Bergen, Bergman, and boy, it sounds like a law firm. Bergen, Bergman, and Bennett. Jeff Bennett, who has played Foghorn Leghorn so well. Him and both Jeff Bergman have played those characters, and Bob Bergen. I'm just honored to even have a chance to play them, and then now on such a grand scale. But yeah, I am ever so grateful.
It's a true honor to have you a part of this film, and it's really fun to watch you inherit these roles and make them your own. I think that is the joy of Looney Tunes cartoons on HBOMax as well, which season 2 just dropped today. And I guess the differences between working with Malcolm D. Lee and working with Pete Brownguard are probably visual and audio, audible to fans. But what is it about like this collaboration that you loved working with Malcolm D. Lee?
Well, the thing in common between Malcolm and Pete is that they both love the characters, all of them, and that they give me so much trust. They trust me with these characters. And again, it's like you have these experts of storytelling, and you rely on them to get out of you what they need for their story. But working with Malcolm, again, with his comedy background, was amazing. He let me ad-lib so much stuff in this film. I really hope that there's like hidden tracks somewhere on the 4K Blu-ray when it comes out. As long as I was making him laugh. This is a guy that has worked with Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart, two of the funniest comedians and comedians to ever grace the screen. And to know that I was making Malcolm laugh, and especially with Daffy, we were coming up with some funny stuff with Daffy.
Thank you for your time, Eric, and it's really been an honor to talk to you, and congrats on the film.
Yeah, that's all, Jonathan.